What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. It's your boy Haize, joined by them cognac boys C-Dubb and Bobby in the building. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Justin Fields making comments about his receivers. They're good enough, and how the media is already trying to turn that into some negativity. Also, we'll talk about Kyler Gordon and Brisker and what they've been doing so far at OTAs. And then we'll be finishing the show talking about who are the top 3 Bears entering this season. So we get into all that and more on today's Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, beautiful people. So, Bobby, C-Dubb, man.
What's the word?
Justin Fields says that his wide receivers are good enough. Let me read the direct quote, because you know the media always tries to spin things. Don't just read the headlines. People read the quotes. But he said this: we don't have an Odell Beckham or a Cooper Kupp on our team, but at the end of the day, I think everybody's on their P's and Q's, and we're at the top of everything and not making mistakes. The players we have right now are good enough. The front office thinks that too. The fans outside of the facility, they don't know what's going on at practice. Just because we don't have a big name guy doesn't mean that those guys aren't talented. I have plenty of confidence in myself and my teammates that we're going to get the job done. Now, that sounds like a quarterback, a leader trying to motivate his guys. Unfiltered, they try to make it seem like, oh, were they good enough? Like, come on, man. I hate when the media tries to spin things and just use certain buzzwords as headlines, because reading that full quote from Justin Fields, that's what I want to hear from my quarterback. How do you guys feel about that?
Absolutely. It's exactly what I want to hear from my quarterback. He trying to be a leader, and I think this is a step in the right direction, even though he probably don't have the best talent up in the locker room, in the wide receiver room. But he's going to bring up that confidence in his guys and let them know that I'm right behind you guys. I'm going to lead you guys into prosperity. So just follow me. That I like this from Justin Fields. I'm very intrigued by his leadership skills.
I think that is great to hear, man. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of the numbers that you get from these Chicago Bears wide receivers, they not like eye popping. But like, think of like some of these systems that these guys came out of. But then, if defenses feel like they finna come in and have a heyday, don't forget that a lot of these guys run a 4-4 or 4-3, and they coming out the gate. So you got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that a lot of guys, they're gonna break out. One guy I think that's gonna break out is Byron Pringle, and then I also think Cole Kmet gonna dominate in the middle of the field, because it's just so much speed all around with Velus Jones, with St. Brown being on the team as well. Probably not proven, but hey, you can't coach speed, bro. You can't coach speed. And good job on Justin Fields for be like, I'm gonna believe in my guys, I'm gonna ride with them, and it's all good.
Yeah, and I think the Bears wide receiver core is the easy thing to pick on right now, right? Because everybody wanted to see them do something bigger in the draft. Velus Jones, a lot of people are like, not down on him because he hasn't played. You can't really be down on a player that hasn't played, but they wanted to see a bigger name going in the second round. And because some of those names were available, of course, the media is going to kind of take that and run with it. But like what Justin Fields did here, like, how Justin Fields not only develops on the field, but as a leader is going to be very important for the Bears' future. And to hear him motivate his guys to say, hey, we're not in here making mistakes. We know we're on top of our game. Anybody who's not in our practice yet doesn't know. But listen, that what I took from that is him saying, hey, man, once this season starts, we got some stuff to show y'all. And y'all going to be quite surprised what we got to show you.
Absolutely. Let's go, Justin, man. You moving right in the right direction, big dog. Let's go, man.
Listen, Justin Fields, I'll tell you this right now. As a quarterback, if you get the city of Chicago behind you as a quarterback, you good money. Keep them behind you. Keep them behind you.
Definitely. And just think about it real quick, though. One team that I like to think of, I'm not comparing I don't think the Chicago Bears are on that level yet, but think about the Tennessee Titans of last year. Did they get out the playoffs early last year? Yes. Yeah. But there was only one notable name that was present all year, which was A.J. Brown. They had Julio Jones, but that hammy was very loose, and he wasn't on the field that often. So if they can make some noise with just one solid receiver, come on now, you got at least just got to get the Bears a little something. But it's we just got to prove it. Enough talking.
Definitely. And talking about proving it, apparently Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker are proving it at practice. The Bears defensive back coach, James Rowe, who also coached Kenny Moore and D'Angelo Hall, has compared freaking Brisker to those players. Listen, if Brisker turns out as good as either one of those, man, come on. And then also having great Yeah, great comments about Kyler Gordon as well. I told you guys, I'm really looking forward to the Bears secondary. I think like they're going to be tested early in the season. And I think by the end of the season, they're going to have everything that we need to look at them and say, hey, man, listen, our secondary may be just taken care of for the foreseeable future. But what do you guys make of these comparisons thrown our way to our new secondary members?
Hey man, it's great news. All good news is great news, baby, when it pertains to these young guys. I like to hear all this that they're making short speed quickness, short field quickness.
Mm-hmm. Short area quickness is what
short area quickness.
Yeah.
That little measurement. So when I think of that, I think of Deion Sanders. You think of Jalen Ramsey, those short bursts to the ball and a little bit of area. Okay, I hear y'all talking. Let's come on. I got to see them on tape. I got to see these guys. I'm very excited to see them. Very excited.
And I'm excited too, man. D'Angelo Hall played 14 seasons, went to 3 Pro Bowls. Kenny Moore just went to his Pro Bowl last year. If we can get anything that the stats that these guys put up within their career or so far, speaking on Kenny Moore so far, man, that's a win for us. Hey, don't forget that in 2010, D'Angelo Hall had a 4 interception game against the Chicago Bears, bro.
That's wild.
It sucks, but come on now. A guy that can go get 4 interceptions by himself and take one to the house. Come on now. Look out.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that day. And who was that? Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jay.
And the thing that
was one of those days. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, C-Dubb.
That was one of those days Jay Cutler didn't give a damn about the game that day.
Sure did.
He was just throwing lollipops all game.
Listen, there were so many games where Jay Cutler would have like 2 interceptions in one quarter or the first quarter, whatever. And then at that point, he was like, you know what? We're not winning. I'm just throwing it. Like, y'all. It is what it is. Well, I had 6 touchdowns. I mean, 6 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. Oh, it was a good day. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. We weren't going to win no way. It's all right. What's Green Bay standings? Oh, okay. Don't even worry.
I'm going to ride the bike this game. Come on, bro.
One thing that I do want to bring up to you guys, like we hear about the quickness of both Brisker and Gordon. Now, Gordon's 6 foot even. Brisker 6'2", 205 pounds, I think. Mm-hmm. The fact of quickness and their size, are we going to see some backs cracked in the secondary with some hits? Like, when's the last time we had a big hitter in the secondary?
Oh my God,
it's been a long. I think to
Mike
Brown.
That's where I was going.
I'd like Brisker. They say he brings the toolbox, baby. He brings the hits. He brings the hit stick. Now I'm watching, baby. I want to see at least 5-6 hit sticks before the mid season, baby. Come on, get me on your team, baby. I'm trying to vote for y'all. Let's go.
And one thing also that was mentioned is that Gordon and Brisker both already creating turnovers. Now, why that's important is that the Bears, especially with their wide receiver core having questions, and we think those questions are going to be answered, but the Bears having favorable field position, if they're forcing turnovers like that could be huge for the season. That's something that I think goes overlooked, is that when you have a defense that either gets you great field position, forces turnovers to get you whatever it takes, but puts their offense in a better position than always returning after a touchdown, like that goes a long way, especially in a quarterback who's still looking to prove a lot in his second year. What do you guys think?
I agree with you, Haize, because we didn't like the second round picks, but my logic after letting it digest and all that was we gonna continue to let Justin Fields grow, but we not gonna expedite the growth. We gonna give him a defense he can lean on, so when he make those mistakes, he got somebody that's gonna kind of come in behind him and clean it up. So and then creating those turnovers, that's a big thing. Last year we had a down year on turnovers, and man, Brisker he played down in the box. So let's see if he can go ahead and make some plays once the season starts. Because week 1, that's the test. You going against Kyle Shanahan, and then right after that, you going against the rival Green Bay. So it's up from here on out.
Yeah, that's what I said. That secondary is going to be tested early and often. But go ahead, C-Dubb.
Yeah, 3 most important things to help a young quarterback, man. You got to have a good running game. You want to have a good running game. You want to have your defense getting turnovers for you. And you also want to have you a great tight end. Those are 3 things to help a young quarterback. And I think the most important thing is getting those turnovers to shorten that field for that young guy. But we won't have to deal with trying to make long ongoing drives and stuff like that.
Definitely feel you there. All right, last topic of the day. So Pro Football Focus, who also just had the Bears ranked pretty low, but we're going back to them. They named the top 3 players for the Bears entering the 2022 season. They named Jalen Johnson, Darnell Mooney, and Roquan Smith. Do you guys agree with that list? You have some issues there, and then who would be your top 3 going into the season?
Wait, you want to go first, nephew?
My top 3 is first and foremost Justin Fields. Simply put, because my guy, he has to take a step forward. We're not saying go ahead and make us run to the Super Bowl. We would love that, but that is not the goal this year. The goal this year is to take command of your offense, call a good cadence, and move the damn football and learn from your mistakes. Number 2, for me, would be Darnell Mooney. This is a prove year for Darnell Mooney. You got to go ahead and you got to help your young quarterback. And now y'all been spending a lot of time together. There's reports coming out saying OTAs, y'all staying late at night, y'all working on plays, y'all building some continuity and cohesion with each other so y'all can be great. So I would like to see another 1,000-yard season and definitely a nice touchdown, some nice touchdown records for that. Then I'm calling out Eddie Jackson. You got 2 young defenders that's going to be lining up with you. Now, there's some reports that came out and said that you were taking on a leadership role, and we want to see it. There were too many blown plays last season. There were too many undisciplined plays to where y'all guys that went out there, Vildor, and then I believe y'all had Gibson back there. You had Gibson next to you, and you simply didn't have a good season yourself. So we need a bounce-back season, some goddamn leadership, and we need to shore up this thing so we can make sure that you helping out that offensive side of the ball because you got to carry your weight too on the defense. So that's my top 3.
Oh, that was a good one. I would like to throw a wrench before I give you my 3. I would like to say that if we want our team to be the best, Justin Fields has to be the best player on this football team. You look at the last 4 teams standing last year. You got this Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. The only other difference is the San Francisco 49ers when they had a dynamic playmaker and Deebo Samuel, which is the best player, I think. But I'll give you my 3. And let's revisit this question like in the halfway through the season because I would like to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go Roquan Smith. How could you deny that? David Montgomery and Jalen Johnson. I'd say those are the 3 best players on the Bears right now.
Okay. All right. Mine is definitely Roquan Smith. You got to start with him because even only entering his 5th season in the NFL, he's now like a veteran on the defensive side of the ball for this team. When you look at how much changes happen on the defensive side of the ball, and we still don't know what's going on. Like we still could lose another veteran off this team that maybe want to be traded. Like it's going to be important for Roquan Smith Roquan. Well, I always be wanting to say Raekwon. I have to fit it, fix it in my head. Roquan Smith. It's going to be extremely important for him to not only establish himself as the best player on the defense, but to also be that vocal leader on the defense and help calm down those younger guys, because there's absolutely going to be times, especially when you look at, to Bobby's point, how we open the season, there's going to be times where they probably need that veteran leadership to help calm them down, focus them in, and Roquan Smith is definitely going to be looked at to do those things this year. And I definitely think because our defense, you know, the defense is, I think, is in a better place than what we know about the offense right now, just because there's so many questions. It's going to be extremely important for Roquan Smith. The next up is Darnell Mooney, because listen, you're right now the number 1 target. We'll see what happens with Pringles. We'll see what happens with Jones. Like what you do for this quarterback who's still trying to establish himself is going to be extremely important. And I think he's out to prove that he's a number 1. I still don't see it. But hey, I think he's out to prove it this season. And then it has to be Justin Fields. You have a young quarterback who's the future of your team. He has to be one of the best players on this team. I can understand people saying, hey, we haven't seen enough for him to list him as the best. But when it's all said and done, when this season comes to whatever it comes to, he has to be one of the best players on the field. No pun intended with his last name, for us to reach our maximum potential. So those are my things.
Absolutely.
Man, that's solid. Good job by y'all, because I ain't think about that Montgomery thing, and definitely that Roquan Smith is huge, because anytime you want to lead a defense, you got to have a solid man in the middle.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And I mean, and this is Chicago Bears, man.
Yes.
The Chicago Bears linebacker has always been important to any
Yeah.
good defense that we have.
Come on.
A great defense, you may have two of them on the field together, but you always need the Chicago Bears linebacker. We've talked about how many, when we did our one episode on how many Bears should have their numbers retired, half of those players were linebackers because the Chicago Bears linebacker is important. It's important to football as a whole, but when you're a Chicago Bears linebacker, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, especially specifically middle linebacker. Specifically middle linebacker, baby.
Yes, sir. And he about to get paid. Y'all better stop playing. Come on now.
He about, listen. And they gotta pay him. Like you can't.
Come on.
If they let, I don't even want to talk. Like let's not. Oh man, you talk about somebody being pissed off. I don't even want
to go down that road, bro.
I don't want to go down that road. I don't even want to put that energy out there. We're still a little under a month away. Finally, from preseason starting. You guys excited, man?
Yeah, I'm very
excited, man.
Yeah.
I told you, Haize, offline, man. We about to go into the dry patch of sports where it's only golf and baseball on, man. After these next 2 weeks of the NBA finals, we about to be in a rough spot. So I'm anxious, brother. I'm anxious,
man. Like it's gonna be really, really ugly here, sports wise. I'm going through these draft prospects on Chicago Bulls Central. Like I got like 13 more to do, and I'm like, man, after this is literally free agency, and then we dead. Like every sport. Come on. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the season starting. You guys already know what we got planned for you guys once the season starts. We keep talking about it. Those live stream after games are going to be amazing. And I said we got a little over. We got way more than that. The preseason doesn't open until August 13th. Man, I'm dying here, fam. I'm dying here. Come on, man. But go ahead, Bob, man. Unless you guys got anything left on your mind or anything, otherwise go and give them social media.
No, we straight. Go ahead, send them off, little nephew.
Hey, first thing first, before we get into it, tomorrow's Memorial Day. If y'all know a vet or somebody that's active, go ahead and give them a shout out. As an active member myself, it ain't damn easy, goddamn. So shout out our members, shout out our people that lost their lives, not only to war stuff, but suicide. It's a serious thing in the armed forces.
You pointed that out.
Yeah. Suicide is a big thing in the armed forces, so y'all give a shout out to y'all people. But then go ahead and check out me and Unc C-Dubb at Shy Boys Podcast, and then check out my guy Haize. All three of us, we out here doing draft prospect analysis. We giving y'all real content. We don't do that fake news stuff. AD ain't coming here, and KD definitely not coming either. So we not trading the whole. If KD come here, we got to trade the whole United Center. We ain't doing that.
And the Jordan statue. That gotta go.
Y'all know what to do.
Man, listen, you can follow us collectively at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Bear Central, gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, 773-270-2799. That's it from us for today, man. We love y'all. We love the Bears. Thank you for everyone who served. That's every day, regardless of a holiday, because you guys know I come from a military family. So thank you to everyone out there. We out. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.